I'd like to invite you to look at coping mechanisms, including disassociation, not just as a liability, but as a mechanism, a neutral mechanism, even a superpower, but a superpower in service to an assumed powerlessness. So this is an important piece to put in place if we want to know how to tell the difference between coping or disassociation versus using exactly the same mechanism on purpose, detaching from thoughts in order to go to that place beyond our own conditioning to tap into our creativity, not in service of survival, but in service of interacting with life and taking ownership of our life and creating the kind of life that we want. Have I met? My name is Anya. I teach people about spirituality, consciousness, oneness. This is my book. Another way for that assumed powerlessness that I was talking about is identity, your I am, thoughts and beliefs that you mistake for who you are. This book basically shows you not only how to detach from it, but how this sense of self shapes the reality that you live in. Check it out right here on TikTok Shop. I want you to think about something. You know those first moments when you wake up in the morning and your mind is completely clear, you don't remember anything, especially after that really, really good nap, like who am I? What's going on? And then you begin slowly focusing on thoughts about your life. Maybe your relationships, maybe it is a stressful situation around money, maybe it is judgment of people, maybe it's instability, and not actual instability in the world, but our thoughts about instability in the world. When that experience gets too much, right? That's when we might detach to a point where like, okay, I don't really want to be in it. This is all too hard. So I'm going in. So here's how we think it normally works. We have this beam of our attention and say it focuses on the world and finds the world or the thinking about the world incredibly painful or threatening. And the only way it sees to get rid of the pain and discomfort and fear is to detach completely. That beautiful superpower mechanism of you being able to release any thought kicks in, and you release this pain, unfortunately sacrificing your engagement with your actual life. Good news is, it's not actually how it works. Instead of it just being you and the world, and you have to detach from everything, like throw the baby away with bathwater, your consciousness, your beam of attention actually passes through two gates, if you want, or two layers of reality. One is that assumed powerlessness that I was talking about, which is your identity that was formed at the time when you actually were powerless, when you had to embrace the rules of the reality that you were given, that you were born into. This assumed sense of powerlessness tells you they have the power, men have the power, women have the power, other people's judgment has the power. You cannot say no. You cannot exercise your power because if you do, you will destroy the world. You're too powerful. You have to suppress your power. Whatever these assumptions that we're holding about the reality of who we are, our I am become a kind of goggles or filter through which we view the reality. And if the reality fits within the control demands of the identity, everything is fine, right? The reality you face is threatening to the identity. You cannot control it. And remember, you are identified with this conditioning. So you think this is you. You see no way of detaching from this. You only see a way of controlling that. However, this contains rules about how you can control that, what you can do, how you can stand up for yourself or not stand up for yourself, and whether or not you have a choice to choose a different experience. It's important to remember that the pain that makes us drug, drink, detach, run away is created between these two bookends. But the bigger pain, the pain that is actually permanent, on permanent simmer inside of us and just gets flared up to the point where it's impossible and we have to numb ourselves, is in our identity, and not only in its conditions and our ideas about who we are, but also consequences of exercising our power. If I say no to a bully, I will never be loved. Creates a catch-22 that says, you know what, screw this. I cannot work this out. We get rid of this. If we get rid of the conditioning and our consciousness regains its freedom, then it can interact with anything it meets in the world. It does not mean that when you face that old painful behavior that has initially hurt you, that you will not feel anything and you will be like, oh great, kumbaya, happy. You'll still feel the sting of judgment. You will still feel like something is off when somebody is being inauthentic or creepy. But what will be different is that there will be nothing here that says, I have to play by this old unconsciousness's rules, or that I cannot say no, or I cannot choose a different experience. Your agency back, and you start interacting with the world from that free place, or the awareness that this free place exists in you will be there even when you encounter a situation where you get confused again, or you might have to investigate painful, anxious feeling, or work through some old trauma, or work out a difficulty in your relationship. In those moments, you may employ that superpower mechanism that exists in you to detach from all thought. Step now consciously with intention to look for whatever powerlessness there's left inside of you, because you don't need to hide from the world, because you don't need to change the world. You only know that you need to change yourself in order to show up in your world in a different way. So the world, the way it is, however it exists, is not in the way of you fulfilling the unfolding of your life here. And this is the biggest difference between dissociating because of need, determined by the conditioning that tells you, because of who I am, I can't deal with this world, so I'm out, versus on purpose detaching from all thoughts, because you're not looking to control the world, but you're looking to find place inside of you that the world controls. Get rid of that and then step back into your life saying, it doesn't matter to me that all of you are caught up in your own version of unconsciousness. I am here to fulfill the kind of life I came here to live. I'm not afraid of you. I'm not afraid to say no to you. I'm not afraid of your judgment. If you do not have this book, check it out. I think it'll really be helpful. I will tag it right here. It is available here on TikTok Shop. Do have the book and you found the book helpful, or you found this video helpful. Help my work to advance in the world is if you go wherever you bought the book and leave even a 1 or 2 line review about how this has impacted your life or what you saw about yourself. It helped you shift into your own power, see something new about life. Thank you in advance.